Ask Tom on Home Show.
Leon from Lake Jackson has some question about some dark spots.
Yeah, they're appearing on his grout, Tom, these dark spots right here. And as Leon writes to us, he says, 2 years ago, we had our master bath shower rebuilt with new pan and drain, the floors and the walls. We cleaned with Wet and Forget shower cleaner. This year, we started noticing dark spots forming on the grout, at the wall, and the floor joints. That's right here at the bottom, what he's talking about, right? He says the contractor used Mappy FlexiColor ready-to-use grout with color-coded quartz during the tile installation. So the dark spots seem to be forming in the grout and not on the surface. So he wants to know, Tom, how do we get rid of that?
Well, there's a lot of chemicals in a lot of these products. Now let's talk about the one you're using. That's a mildewcide fungicide. That is to kill any kind of growth. So any kind of mold or mildew. It doesn't clean dirt. It doesn't have anything to do with dirt. So first off, I would tell you to try to clean it, and if it doesn't work, fine. But if it's not cleaning off the surface and it's dirt, then what could be happening? And sometimes these mildewcides and fungicides are so strong that they burn the grout, and over time they turn it black. So I would be very careful about using these spray cleaners. A big mistake people make is they use bleach. Let's say bleach is one of the more common fungicides, mildewcides you can have around the home, and people just start spraying it all over straight. And even though it's thinned out in a bottle, you get about 20%, it still is incredibly strong, and over time it'll turn all the grout black. And so I'm not sure of the concentration of bleach into this particular product, but if it has any at all, or if it has some really strong chemicals in there, it will take the color out of grout, and it will burn, what we call burn it, and slowly turn it black, and it'll continue to get darker and darker, and you will get black spots if you get areas that it sits on for a long period of time. So number one, I'd be very careful with that. It might be just a misuse of the product. I would tend to think if it's growing there and that's the only product you are using, I would tend to think that that product probably is a little strong. I know it's used on the outside of homes for cleaning brick and stuff once in a while, but to use it regularly in a shower, I don't know if it's a great idea, but I suspect that's the issue. If you take one of those black spots and just kind of take a pocket knife or something and go at it a little bit, if you have all that grout left, you can always fill it back up. See how deep it is, but if it's on the surface and not coming from behind, then it's probably the product. If you can go all the way to the bottom and it's behind there, you might be taking some water somewhere in the shower and it's getting along around that bottom and it's trying to migrate out and it's causing those black spots. That would be a worst case scenario because of the fact that maybe your shower pan is not working like it's supposed to. But I have a feeling it's the product.
If it is growing inside, and is it possible this could be a case where he has to just have the whole thing regrouted, Tom?
Well, I'd try an area first. Right now, that what he showed me a picture of does not look real severe, Charlie. He's got two little spots. I mean, what I would try right now, if I wanted to just clean a few of those spots up, you can get a little grout saw. You can buy them at Home Depot. And just take those little areas out, mix a little grout up, put it in with your thumb, let it sit overnight, let it dry. And if that's all it takes, then you're pretty good. And to quit using all the chemicals you're using, because chemicals destroy grout. In fact, let's just take a floor grout, for instance. People will go ahead and slop mop it with all kinds of different cleaners. I don't want to pick on a cleaner because they all have their place. And all of a sudden, the grout just starts to turn different colors. It takes a while because it pulls the pigment out of the grout. And if you look at the recommendations from the grout and tile companies, they tell you vacuum your tile. Just vacuum all the grit off, and if you spill something, just wipe it up. But don't go around mopping it like it's the USS Texas or something. You're not going to slop mop the whole thing. People do it. They think they're supposed to put all that spick and span and all that stuff in there. Those products have a place, but people overuse them. And grout, most people ruin their own grout, quite frankly. That's not just something that happens. It's because of what's used on it.
Well, Tom's going to shoot you straight. You can tell that right there. So if you can handle the truth, click on Ask Tom and send us your question. Tom will answer it. We do another one of these every day. By the way, you can send us written or a video one. Send us a picture because it helps us out. Like seeing that grout, it helps us understand a little better, and we like to do a good job. That's why we do this. That's why we post them every day. You'll find them on our YouTube channel, the Home Show Radio YouTube channel, Facebook page, and of course, at HomeShowRadio.com.